Hi everyone, welcome back to another cook on the channel, and today we're addressing the topic of leftovers. So we've all encountered it before. We cook these huge chunks of meat, you eat a dinner from them and you're left over with all this extra meat and you're not sure what to do with it. Sure, you can reheat it the next day, but it's always nice to have something a little bit different to do with it. So today, this isn't actually one of my recipes, this is one of Phil from UKBBQ's recipes, and it is pulled pork sausage rolls. So I had some pulled pork in the freezer that I actually smoked a week or two ago. Whatever I had left, I portioned it down into bags, roughly sort of 500-600 gram portions. You can freeze it all in one big batch, but then you have to defrost that whole batch and do something with it. So I like to break it down into smaller batches, then I can defrost some of it and use it and keep the rest of it in the freezer. So Phil has the full recipe on his website, so I'm not going to write it up for mine. I will leave the link in the description for his website link for the recipe, and I'll also leave a link to all his social media as well, because if you're not following him, you really should be. The guy is truly one of my best friends in UKBBQ, and really he's the one that sort of got me into the whole thing. So without further ado, we will jump into getting these ready, and the first thing you need to do is to prepare the pulled pork. So you want this quite finely chopped so it mixes through. You can leave some chunkier bits in there, or some of the bark's quite nice to leave a little bit chunkier, but run your knife through it and cut it down so it's nice and fine, and then you want to add that into the sausage meat. Now Phil's recipe actually called for 700 grams of sausage meat to 500 grams of pulled pork. I had slightly higher on both of those, but it's still a similar ratio, so you can just adjust it to whatever you need. And one little addition I made to the recipe was to add in some grated cheese. So the cheese inside them sausage rolls, you get them little pockets of melted cheese in it, it's really nice. So I went in with around 150 grams of just grated cheddar. So add the pulled pork, the sausage meat and the cheddar to a bowl and mix it all together thoroughly. Then season that up with some salt and pepper and go in there with a little bit of Worcester sauce, just to add a little bit of moisture to the mixture, and then mix it all together. And once that's ready, you can fire up your barbecue to preheat while you're putting the sausage rolls together. You're looking for a temperature of around 180-190 degrees, and that's going to be indirect cooking. So I did these in the Kamado Joe. It sat rock solid at 180 the whole time, and it's sort of perfect for something like this. And I actually done these sausage rolls in two batches because I wanted to make them slightly bigger. They're like picnic sized sausage rolls. So I made up the first batch, put it on, and then prepared the second batch while they were cooking. But both deflector plates in there just to give full indirect. If you're using a kettle or something like that, then you're only going to be able to fit one tray on the left hand side if you have all your coals pushed to the right for indirect. So while your barbecue's preheating, you can get the sausage rolls ready. I have used pre-made puff pastry. If you have time to make your own, then more power to you, crack on. But I don't, so I just buy the pre-rolled stuff. So cut that sheet into two long strips and place your sausage meat stuffing along the centre of it. Now make sure and leave yourself enough that you can fold that over and sort of crimp the edge of it to hold it together. If you overfill them, you're going to struggle to do it and you'll end up with holes in your pastry. So I used around half the mixture for the first sheet. So place that along the centre, then brush along one edge with a little bit of egg wash, just a beaten egg. Fold the pastry over on itself, and then you can sort of temporarily crimp it with your fingers, but ideally you might get a fork and press that along the edge just to properly seal that seam. Next you want to cut that up into your individual sausage rolls. If you're wanting to make cocktail sausage rolls, cut them roughly 1.5 inches deep. I was making sort of picnic sized sausage rolls, so I was able to get about 6 of them out of one of those long strips. And once you have them cut up, cut a couple of slits in the top of each one, purely because it looks good and it lets a little bit of steam out there as well, which helps crisp up your pastry. Then you want to give them all an egg wash over, and you're going to actually put them on with a little bit of barbecue rub. That's sort of a nice little touch that Phil added to the recipe, which I thought was nice. So I've used the Pitmaster rub from the Smoky Carter, but you can use anything you want really. So just egg wash on, give them a quick dusting, and then put them onto a baking tray with a little bit of parchment paper below them to stop them sticking. Then place the trays onto the grill in the indirect area, and you want to leave them for 20 to 25 minutes to cook. Mine were slightly larger, so it actually took around 30 minutes or so, but you'll know yourself, once the pastry's puffed up and it's nice and golden, you can stab them with a thermopen to make sure they've hit 75 in the centre, but by the time that puff pastry has puffed up and turned nice and golden brown, the insides will most definitely be cooked. And once they're ready, get them straight off the baking tray and onto a wire rack. You don't want the bottom of these going soggy, so lift them off, put them in a wire rack to cool, and then tuck in. So I actually made a little bit of a sriracha mayo to go with them, so I think it was about 5 parts mayonnaise to 2 parts sriracha hot sauce. You can play around with that to your taste, but tasted good to me, so you can start with that and then tweak it to your own taste. And that's pretty much it. You've turned plain pulled pork into something that is sort of extra tasty. It's a great way to use up leftovers, and you'll have plenty of them to tuck into over the next couple of days. So we had them with a few wedges and that sriracha mayo. They'll do for lunches, they'll do for breakfast, they'll do for dinner, and they'll do for lunch. Break them open. So those little bits of cheese in there, nice bits of bark still there. You got all that flavour from the rub that you already had on your pulled pork, and just that nice crispy pastry, a little bit of rub on top of it. Perfect in my eyes. I love sausage rolls. Not the best thing to eat on camera. Alright, I'm gonna go. I will leave a link in the description. Check it out, give them a try. He also has a pretty killer recipe for pulled pork scotch eggs, so I'll leave a recipe for it as well. Might try that with some more I have in the freezer. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video. You still here? I'll let you into a secret. I've recorded this bit of the video and I've already had our dinner. I've ate 4 of these already. So this is now the 5th one I have ate in the last hour. But they're so good. My kids as well don't really like pulled pork. See, when you put them into a sausage roll, they can't get enough of them. I don't understand it. I wonder how it would work with a beef sausage roll with pulled pork in it. Or could you do a beef sausage roll with chopped brisket in it? Could be worth a think. Stop eating, James. It's summer time again, which means the bloody flies are back to bug the life out of me. Haven't seen too many wasps yet though. I'm sure it's coming. Oh, this is Friday, so tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday, Dalriada Festival's on, which means Celtic Smoke, the first KCBS barbecue competition, is on at it. I'm going to be there on the Sunday, so if you're up at it, look out, come and say hello. Oh, I need to go and put these away before I eat them all. Bye!